Hey, good morning. There we go. How's it going, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be where you are. How's it going? Welcome back to my live stream. Today is December 16th, 2018. My name is Jeff Fritz, and we're going to write a little code today. Gosh, we're 9 days away from Christmas. Oh my gosh. Love the hat, says Robert Tables. Good morning, everybody in the chat room. Yeah, thank you. We'll talk about the hat in a second. Darth Minos, Vinyl Warmth is here. Mordecai's here. Hey, good afternoon. Stelzy, hello. 4P3S, hello. And I see Robert Tables got some Tropical Rain G Fuel. That's a nice flavor. I actually have a little baggie of single servings that I carry with me when I travel, so that it's easy for me to get a little bit of energy in a hotel in the morning without having to rely on a coffee maker. Hey, John 3875, Lannon BR is here, Bardaki and Nile Crack, Shy Sharp is here, Rambling Geek, good morning, actually good afternoon where you are. There's Janescu and GG Feds, hello, Denerd, love the G Fuel, let me tell you. Yeah, they've been knocking it out of the park. They've got a new flavor out there for us. It's been amazing. Hey, there's Moz. Where did my mouse go? There it is, way over there. So I'm wearing a new Twitch hat today. I haven't worn this one. I don't think I've worn this one on stream, but I got this at TwitchCon back in October. Love it. It's got that nice new chrome logo they've been promoting, and I like purple. I like the purple. Moz was the winner of came in second for our Bits for Bytes drive effort last month in November, and she's going to join us for a pair programming stream coming up very soon. We're going to connect and schedule that as part of my thanks for participating in that. So that's going to be coming up. I spoke with the first of our basic HTML pair programming guests. Her name is Steffi HS. You can find her on Twitch. Let me throw a shout out here for her. Let me make sure I get it right. Did I get it right? I spelled that right? Right? Why didn't it do the shout out? Do the shout out, chatbot. It's not doing the shout out. I thought that was it. Is it that one? No. I thought shout out. What? Come on now. That should work. Don't know why the command isn't working. Who knew? I'm not VIP enough. Yeah, tell me about it. Interesting. All right. But she's a semi-professional Hearthstone player from the area near where I live here, and she'll be joining us for the first of our basic HTML, basic web page, get started as a developer sessions, and we're looking at doing that either Thursday or Friday this week. You'll see. I can't let you do that. Yeah. So I'll have more information about that as we get a little bit closer. We're almost there. And then the week after, we're going to have Fairy Wings on, and we're going to do a little bit further basic HTML development. And then finally, on the second week of January, we're going to take a week off from the pair programming for the new year. Our friend Ellieface is going to join us, and we're going to do a little bit of CSS and some basic JavaScript with Ellieface in January. Good morning, Frank. Hey, good to see you. Let me get some music playing here before I go over some more of the things that are coming up. So I'm going to start up some music to code by. Of course, this is music that's engineered, scientifically designed to get you in the groove, get you focused on whatever task it is that you might be working on. And this song that I'm about to play is called Orchid. There it is. It's a little bit quiet to start, and we're going to have a great time getting focused in writing some code here today. Our friend Carl Franklin, of course, authored this music, and it is in my opinion, tremendous. I really enjoy it. It helps me stay focused on the tasks that I'm working on, and I hope you enjoy it too. You can, of course, check this out, download your own copy, sign up for the app, and get great music like what we're going to be listening to today, delivered to your phone, to your device, at musictoflowby.com. There we go. Let me know if that's a little bit loud. Hey, GG Feds, thanks so much for that subscription. We'll, of course, make a donation to Girl Develop It, and we're going to make that donation, I think, next weekend. Thanks so much. We're gonna support women, underserved minorities in getting involved and learning about software. Thanks so much for that contribution. I really appreciate it, and you'll get to use the Twitch bot, the .NET bot, everywhere here on Twitch. Thank you so much. Is that Regex Attempts? Good day. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining us. All right, let me see. What else do I need to cover? So hat, let's see. Bits for Bytes. You know about Bits for Bytes. It's below the stream here. There's more information about that and about our cheering graffiti capabilities that we do here. One of us. Yeah, absolutely. And if you're the top cheerer at the end of the month, you'll have an opportunity to pair program with me live on stream. So right now, looking at the top of the chat room there, I see Sequel Mr. Magoo is leading the way. And every cheer, of course, gets donated to Girl Develop It as well. Hey, Veronica, where do I get my background songs? They're really cool and relaxing. Tell you what, let's jump right in. I can show you that right now. There's two places you can go to get it. There we go. musictoflowby.com. And if you head over, you scroll down a little bit here, you can get it on your Apple iTunes store. You can get it at the Google Play Store. If you click through to www, give it a second. And you can scroll down here. You can buy premium episodes. But the first 3 songs are completely free for you to get here. There's also at mtcb.pwop.com. You can buy 18 tracks for $42. Each track is 25 minutes long, and if you're like me, I put it on repeat and just let it groove in the background so I stay focused on whatever it is that I'm working on. Talking, and I see the chat room is talking about the Windows 95 ugly sweater. Yeah, that is really cool. And I think one of our friends, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his nickname. SignalR got one of those sent to him because he's a Windows insider. Very, very cool stuff. For some reason now, the Twitch whispers are not clearing for me. What's my opinion of the crazy that's going on at the Girl Develop It organization? That's a great question, Maz. Let me answer. Hello there. There's a little bit of a concern going on at Girl Develop It. Some of the folks who run chapters. So Girl Develop It is organized into various chapters for each town, each city, big city that they have training classes at. So there's ones in Philadelphia and New York City and Seattle and Los Angeles and Denver and Milwaukee. And what's happened is a few of the chapter leaders are upset because they're saying that there's some racism going on between chapter leaders against each other. Folks saying some nasty things to each other between various chapters, not to students. And they're concerned that the administration, the global administration of the organization is not disciplining people, and they're not doing anything about that. What these, in particular, two chapter leaders, they want to see the entire organization stop and be completely reorganized. That is incredibly sad for me to hear, and it's not something where a few bad apples should literally destroy an organization. There are a tremendous number of people that have benefited from this organization, and I don't think that it's right that a couple of folks with really loud voices who have legitimate concerns, but they're concerns with their peers, not concerns with the administration, concerns with their peers. They need to get that worked out, without question. But for those other organizations that are doing so well, doing an amazing job training folks and outreach and goodwill, we shouldn't hurt the other 98, 99% of the organization because of the bad actions of 2 or 3 people. I'm not going to change my position on supporting them. The overall organization, Philadelphia, the local chapter here to me, is one of those that's impacted. That's fine. If they'd like to, if there's anything that I can do locally to assist, I would be happy to. But a few bad apples shouldn't spoil the bunch. That's where I'm going to leave it. I have had people ask me, why don't we spread around our donations, our contributions, starting in 2019? That's not a bad idea either. I wouldn't mind that at all. Some folks have suggested, should we support Black Girls Code? Should we support? There's a couple of other organizations, and I'm absolutely open to that. I'm going to look more into it over the next few weeks so that we can kick off 2019. So, Robert Table said, I would initially say that this is an organizational problem. It's really just a human problem. Yes, it happens really often at all kinds of organizations. And as organizations get larger, you end up with conflict. You end up with folks who don't work well together or disagree on things. I work for a company that has 100,000 people working for it. You better believe that at least one of those people somewhere is racist. Somewhere in that company is sexist. Is prejudice against something. Does that mean that the entire organization that I work for should stop, should be shut down? No. We work with those folks. We make sure that they have valid contributions and that those perspectives don't affect the outcome. So, hey, Venkat, good to see you. Hugo Dahl, hello. So, why not one new place every month? Why not one new charitable organization? You know what, Frank? That's not a bad idea. And actually, one of the ideas that I was kicking around was, why not a new charitable organization every quarter? So January, February, March, we'll support one charitable organization. April, May, June, another. July, August, September, one more. And then round out the year, October, November, December. The only tricky part about that is it takes a little bit of time for Twitch to transfer funds. So, but once a quarter, I think is a pretty good idea. We can figure out a good list of folks to support. So we're getting TED Talks from both Jeff and Suze today. I don't know what No Op Cat has on the agenda. Do it by quarter. Yeah, monthly is hard. There's a lot of holidays. Yeah, it could end up shortchanging. Absolutely. There are organizations that will take contributions and distribute. Yes. And there's so folks like Fairy Wings and Fierce Kittens. We've had her on the stream. They ran and Quiltoni. She's up there on the top of our cheering board. They did some work with St. Jude over the last month to raise money for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. A tremendous organization, and they worked through Tiltify to do those donations. I don't specifically have any donations set up, but cheering and subscriptions, because I'm an affiliate on Twitch, are configured, and I'm rerouting my proceeds over to those organizations, over to Girl Develop It currently, and we'll see what we can do about that in the future. So that brings me around to the next topic. Pansock. Pansock? Thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate you joining us. I look forward to seeing you in the chat room, and I'd love to learn a little bit more about your nickname. Why Pansock? Is that like a cover you put over a pan to protect it when you put it away in your cabinet? Let me know. I want to learn more about where that comes from. Okay. I've got a couple of ideas hanging out there to do. No, hang on. Back up a second. Not yet. I don't want to do that just yet. Hang on. Back up. Code Stock is down there in the left bottom corner. I've been invited. I've been asked to speak at the Code Stock Conference 2019. This is April 2019 in Knoxville, Tennessee. I'll be giving 2 talks there. I'll be giving a talk on .NET Core 3.0. Whatever the current preview version is at that time, that's the one I'll be talking about. And along with some real-world samples and some direction, some recommendations for folks who are currently on earlier versions of .NET Core, whether it's 2.2, 2.1. I'll be talking about that. And I'm also going to talk about how to get started on Twitch as part of this event. And the request I put in to the organizers is I'd like to do the how to get started on Twitch session on Twitch. What do you think of that? So, if you're in the Tennessee area, if you're in the Midwest, if you're in the Southeast United States, and you're thinking about a conference to go to, check out Code Stock. April, it's in 116 days. I better start writing my presentation. And you know what? They don't have the dates right here. There it is. April 12th through the 13th. It's a Friday and Saturday. I thought it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I got to take a look. But it's in Knoxville, right next to the University of Tennessee. Check it out. Like I said, I'll be there in person. Be happy to see you, meet you. I'll be handing out cards, some other swag that I'm going to be preparing before then, all about this stream at that event. I am not doing. There's a TwitchCon EU. TwitchCon EU, and I think that's in March. TwitchCon Europe. It's the exact same weekend. I am not going to be able to do that event. When I attend TwitchCon, going forward, it's on my own dime, right? It's so for me to travel to Europe for a 2-day event like that is a little prohibitive for me. So if I were to put it together with some technical training things, it would make more sense. But I'm a big fan of the Code Stock event, so I will be there instead of TwitchCon Europe. Maybe consider international charities as your audience is international. That's not a bad idea either, Ancient Coder. So Girl Develop It is international, I thought they were international. They're in 63 cities. Oh, okay, just in the United States. I thought they were. Right. Learn more. Our vision, our values, our story. Yeah. Okay, they're just in the United States. So, chapters, Arizona, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, there's no Canadian ones. I would think there's at least Canadian. But you're absolutely right, Ancient Coder. I should consider some organizations that get outside the states. That's a very good point there. All right. Next point. I've got a couple of ideas that have been presented to me and that I've been thinking about for long-form events in January. Now, when I say long-form, you typically see me on here for 2 hours, and we get through that rumble of working together, and that's it. And when I've done these longer-form workshops, whether it's 8 hours, 12 hours, or even 24 hours, we've had tremendous fun and success working together. And when I say 24 hours, I'm referring to .NET Conf. And that was a tremendous event. I want to continue that momentum. I want to build on that. I think we have a good time when we have the longer format events because it gives you an opportunity to step away for a little bit. I don't run commercials here. I don't. But you can come back and pick up where we left off. And I also want to bring in an editor to help consolidate some of that content down to bite-size episodes, right? Because there's times like this where I'm just running my mouth, and if you just want to see code, we can do something about that. Hugo Dahl says a stream suggestion list of charities. Absolutely. Let me get there in just a second, because there's 3 events I'm looking at for January. One I can't talk about yet. So there's some folks at Microsoft that want to do something. It would be over on the Visual Studio channel, but it is going to be a longer form event. Keep an ear open for that one, particularly over on Visual Studio. I want to do another ASP.NET Core workshop. The first one we ran back in February, March. It's easily my number 1 watched video. The folks really enjoyed that workshop. It was 8 hours. We brought in 3 or 4 guests, and we had a great time building an application together. And everybody learned something, and that was based on ASP.NET Core 2.1 preview. I'd like to redo it, update it for ASP.NET Core 2.2, bring in a couple folks from the ASP.NET team, bring in a couple MVPs, and build a slightly different application, but still get you from soup to nuts with ASP.NET Core 2.2. Maybe a little Blazor in there. I think that's a great idea, regex attempts. And I want to do that in January. But that's not the only thing I want to do in January. I also want to do a virtual hackathon for the Martin Luther King Jr. Day of Service. Now, if you're not American, and I know a number of the folks watching and listening are not, Americans have been encouraged for the last few years during the Martin Luther King Jr. federal holiday on January 21st to do some sort of a service project. Encourage other folks, be productive, assist, do whatever you can to have that day of service, make an impact on nonprofits and folks out there that that Dr. Martin Luther King would have supported. So there's an organization that's close to my heart called Sebastian Writing Associates, and they're right here. They're a therapeutic writing academy, right? They help folks who have all kinds of needs, whether it's physical, emotional, with equine therapy. And this is a tremendous organization, but they're having some organizational problems where they've grown so much that between managing their horses and coordinating those with students, and you can see some of the students and some of the magnificent animals they have at the facility there. They have to organize and coordinate that, and they need a little bit of help with resource management. So I'd like to build a little bit of a resource management application for them live on Twitch during the day of service. Now, I threw a tweet out there and said, hey, what do you think about this? Would folks be interested? And there was a little bit of Twitter discussion about this, and some folks were really interested. Look at that, 108 likes. And I grabbed the names of the folks that were interested, and I tacked it on to this, and here's just a few of them. But as I look at more and more of these folks, and some of these folks would like to start their own stream. So equine therapy is very beneficial to a lot of folks, and these folks would like to help out and write their own streams, start their own streams. So there you go. That'd be phenomenal, Hugo. So what I'd like to do, and I've already spoke to some of the folks at Twitch, I'd like to set up a stream team for our day of service hackathon and have all kinds of folks working on different pieces of this larger project, working on building different pieces together, right? Maybe I'm working on a little bit around microservices, and maybe somebody else is working on a little bit around user interface, and maybe some other folks are building pieces around the notification system. And over the course of 12, 18 hours, we'll get some huge chunk of this done, and we'll pull it together, and we'll have an application, an open source application we can share with them. And if we build this resource management application in a way that is abstract enough, other organizations should be able to use that. Silverlight 1042, thanks so much for bringing your Twitch Prime subscription to us. We'll make a donation to Girl Develop It. Thanks so much. Yes, one of us. And you'll get to use the .NET Bot logo there. .NET Bot emote. It's a capital F. How do we sign up for it? Would be a great way to start up a stream. Head out here to, here's the issue. I'll copy and paste this into the chat. This issue is created in a repository which does not have any code. Issue 77. Let me come back to that question, Venkat. This is, yeah, the bot's not doing some of these lookups for me here. We're gonna have to take a look at that later. If you want to sign up, head out here to this. Drop me a comment, and we'll get you into the list, and we'll start talking about planning together. What I'd like to do over the next 2-3 weeks is I'd like to have a stream with some of the folks from the Writing Academy, giving us requirements, talking through what requirements there might be, and building out a set of requirements for us to talk about. All the different things that we'd like to build. If folks want to build a mobile app to help with this, phenomenal. We're going to put out some basic requirements, and then we'll have, I've actually already started an organization on GitHub. Let me open that up. Fritz and Friends. I started an organization, and I created a project out here called just Resource Management. And we'll build out the wiki with what the requirements are, and then some issues based on that, so that we can have a definition, a clear place where we can all get in and contribute and send pull requests and manage this project together. So I don't want this to appear owned by me, but owned by our community. All right? So I want to do this for January 21st. And I'm also trying to recruit some of the folks from my team at the office, see if they want to help out, and some of my direct coworkers, even the boss, and see if they want to help build some of this. And we'll see how that works out, and who all we can get recruited from there to help out and work on this. We could make a core wiki for the whole project as well. Yes, we've stepped away from core wiki for a little bit here, but you're right, Bardaki. We can absolutely do that. Have doubts about my hardware being stream capable? That's okay, Mordecai. You'll be able to still contribute and write some code along with those folks that are streaming during that day. I want to make sure viewers have an opportunity, not, folks who aren't necessarily streaming, to participate as well. Do I already have something or someone to hold my mic? Well, I have an arm here that I use to hold my mic. Very interesting project. Would love to participate. Fantastic. Svava.
#charity.
Thank you so much for those bits. Of course, I'll make a donation to Girl Develop It based on those bits. But because you cheered and used the #charity tag along with that, Twitch is going to donate I think it's 20% of all those bits to direct relief. And so far, they've raised more than $139,000 during this bits drive for direct relief. Thank you so much for that cheer, Svava. So you're getting double charity donation out of that. Very cool. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Yep, the music is... There you go. Thank you, Mordecai, for sharing that link. All right. So that's the virtual hackathon. Here's where I'm going to build out that information. I should probably comment on this over here. There we go. Fantastic. Love to see the comments here. I'm going to edit this first. The code and requirements will be built out at, and there's the link. So you know where we're going to be going. All right. So that's the Day of Service project. Next thing to talk about, so I'll close that one. Christmas stories. So there was a comment, we had a little bit of a discussion last week about, wouldn't it be fun if Jeff read Christmas stories here on stream? And some folks put some comments out here about, you got to read A Christmas Carol. I've got to make it a thing to read A Night Before Christmas. My friend Jay here, Checkmate on GitHub, said Polar Express would be cool, but what about local kids who are stuck in the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, or CHOP, for the holidays? I like that idea. I need to figure out what would be a good way to engage there. The Legend of Bell Snickle. Yeah, I get that. So, I happen to have a little bit of a radio voice. We'll figure out, maybe I'll read these two, Polar Express, Christmas Carol, and A Night Before Christmas. Make those 3 stories happen. I want to do this on December 23rd. There's some... I had a request for a family brunch that morning, which would conflict with this. So I'm going to work on the schedule. You'll see an event posted on my channel when this happens. The Dinosaur Before Christmas. That'd be cool. But I think we'll stick with those 3. Christmas Carol and Polar Express and A Night Before Christmas. So that's coming up. Look for an event to be posted, and I'll blast it out on the Discord channel and on Twitch and on Twitter, maybe even Facebook. So please turn the green screen into a fireplace. Amen, Mordecai. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Turn the green screen into a fireplace. Make it look all cozy and holiday and full of holiday cheer. And I know some folks aren't believers. They don't celebrate Christmas. That's fine too. I want to make sure. I don't think there's any religious undertones under Polar Express or A Christmas Carol or A Night Before Christmas. But the holiday spirit, the winter holiday spirit of giving, of goodwill towards others, peace, I want to make sure we share that as we approach. But I think that's fine to do here. Next up, I started wiring up Stream Tools so that it would build on every commit. And I ran into this issue during Restore. So Stream Tools is a collection of tools. It's a project. It's an ASP.NET Core project that builds and generates things like these numbers you see here below me and the rainbow beard gauge over there. They're just web pages that are embedded using OBS. Very simple web pages that connect out to Twitch, pull down some numbers, and paint.
#charity.
Whoa, Lannon, thank you so much for that kind cheer. 1,000 bits to help support direct relief. Thank you so much. And of course, I'll make a donation as well to Girl Develop It. Thank you for that kind cheer. And that puts you actually in the lead for the month. And I need to copy out Svava and Cheer 100 from Svava Blount. And Cheer 1000. 1,000. There we go. From Lannon. There we go. Awesome. Thank you so much for those cheers. I really appreciate that. Makes me feel good to see that. Really wanting to pair struggle with me on some CSS. Yeah, let's do that. So I set up the Azure DevOps, and Azure DevOps has all kinds of continuous integration build features out here, testing and other things to help you make your application a little bit more robust and work well. But I set this up so that it would build the project for us every time there's a pull request, every time there's a commit, to verify that everything's working properly. Well, during the .NET restore, where it's bringing down all the packages that we need for our projects, it's running into a problem here. First off, I'm not thrilled that it's populating the local package cache every time and taking 140 seconds. Look at that, 140,000 milliseconds. That's 140 seconds. That's almost 2.5 minutes to populate an offline cache. Shouldn't that already be there? You know? That's annoying to me. Hey, Chris Jones, good to see you. So I'm looking at that and thinking, well, what's going on? And it says one or more errors occurred. And it says, right when I look across here, the process cannot access the file. And when I look at this, it's that stupid Razor language DLL again, causing us problems again. So I bingled this error, and I found the developer community is complaining about this as well. And they've got over here on the developer community the exact same error being reported. And when I search down here, the support folks are using the Microsoft hosted build agent or self-hosted agent. I'm using the Microsoft build agent. It's been happening since October, and they don't have an answer for this. It's still happening here in December. You can turn off the cached copy. It's a checkbox. Already done that, Moz. And it will not restore. So if I take a look at my build process here, and I click Edit, and I look at Restore, take a look at Advanced, I've disabled the local cache. So it shouldn't be trying to rebuild the local cache every time. But it does. So this isn't doing anything. And when I queue and get this thing running, it's a checkbox in the take step. Yeah. Right, I'm on that step. And it will not go away. Yes, Denerd, I bingled it. Hang on.
And then?
I read it, and it said they don't have a fix. So we'll let this keep going here.
And then?
Hopefully it works. It still restores. You saw me uncheck it. It still restores. There's a bug out here. It does not work.
And then?
We're going to have to do something to work around this, because it's clearly not working properly.
And then?
I don't have confidence in my code testing and running properly.
And then?
No more and then.
And then?
No more. Can it be deleted and recreated? I don't think so. I don't think that'll help at all. So, I mean, right, I'm looking at this, and I can't help but ask,
What'd you do?
I just told it to start working, and it's not working. That was a little bit quiet. I need to make that louder.
What'd you do?
It works fine for me. Tell it to work better, says Free Batty. I know, right? Work better. Do it. If this starts working, yeah, see, it works great on my machine. It works great on mine too. But I mean, literally, it's been going for a minute and a half, and it hasn't done anything here. If I refresh, it's still configuring the telemetry, and it's locked up. Literally, all I'm doing is telling it to do a .NET restore. So yeah, had a restore issue with TFS 2018 on-prem, says Jester98X. Hey Jester, good to see you. Simple fix was to commit the packages as part of the repo. Yeah, no, we don't want to do that. Sounds like I need some epic build music during it. Yeah, you're right, Bardaki. So, like, right? It's literally doing nothing. I've even told it to turn the telemetry off. Check this out. Right? If I go out to my build definition, edit, and if I look at the, where's the agent? Here's the agent. I turned on, where's the variables? That's the dependencies. I thought I had turned on, is it over here? I thought, where's the agent? Variables, up top. I even turned on .NET CLI telemetry opt-out. I even turned off the telemetry, and it's still collecting the telemetry. So I'm at another point of frustration here, where here it goes. It's populating the local cache, where it's not doing what I've configured it to do. So isn't that the whole idea of packages, to not have to commit them? Exactly. And it errored out again. Why did it error out? Because it can't update that stupid DLL. There it is. And it's not being used in a process. And it shouldn't be updating 2.1.1. I'm on 2.1.6. So why is it doing that? My SDK that it's using is 2.1.4.4. I'm using the same version. So why is this breaking? And honestly, I don't have time to deal with it. I don't have time. I'm frustrated. They know about this, and there's nothing I can do about it. It's literally frustrating. This same error continues to happen, and I can't make it go away. Issue 205, Bardaki was working on here. Let's take a look at this one. Well, that's annoying. I want to be able to click through. There it goes. Let's have a Fritz command to play a sound and get my attention. And Bardaki took it upon himself to go after it. Took it upon, I don't know if Bardaki's a lady or a guy. Bardaki's a frog. Let's start there. And it's your first commit. Look at that. Oh, Bardaki. Oh, let's take a look at what you've got. Let's see if we can get that committed here. 4 files changed. Created the attention command here. So you should be able to fire this command in the chat room. So the command will be attention, play an audio cue to divert attention to chat. A cooldown of 5 seconds. Might need to open that up a little bit. Might need to open that up. It's not deployed yet. I didn't merge it yet. Man, to nerd. You are all over that, man. Woo.
You can do it!
We're going to do it, okay? But you're grabbing the Netcore audio player and you're playing it. Cool. Here's where this might get a little interesting. The chatbot right now runs inside of a Docker container. The Docker container doesn't have a player. The player would be running on the host on my machine. So we need some way to... We can't work with... No, hang on. I think you're close. We need some way to route that request to the player that's on the streamer's machine. right on the host, the machine that still that has things like the host, my machine that's running OBS.
You keep using that word.
What word?
I do not think it means what you think it means.
I do know what it means. OBS, the host, my machine that's actually doing these things. So we need some way to route the sound. So I think we're very close here. Let me put this back. So this, I think we need to reroute a little bit, and I'm going to put a comment here. We should have a longer cooldown on this, or even make it configurable. Because I think you're right there. Let's start with a default of 10 minutes. The chatbot will not be running on the streamer's machine. We will need a way to route this to the host, to the host. Those are the only two comments that I think I have. Attention text, grabbing it. I love that you've got template text for that. Great job. That's good stuff. Netcore audio, fantastic. And you've got a WAV file there, terrific. And that's okay for an initial template text. Looks good. Not a problem with that being an oversight. Not a problem. This is why we have code reviews, to discuss and make sure that we all understand the feature. I think you're on the right path here, Bardaki. But we need to figure out a way to route that audio. There is a way to do it. Yeah, Robert Tables. There is a way to route from the container out. So, but that works fine in my situation where the container's running on my machine. Send SignalR to the OBS browser, but don't I have multiple of them in OBS? Bug found that's true. So maybe we have a web page that we host in OBS that is... Bug found, you're a genius.
Oh my.
Yeah. If there's a web page that we host in OBS that is that information, you can send a message to that web page that plays a message, plays an animated GIF. I think that's you're absolutely onto something. Tell you what, Bugfound, why don't you put a comment on this pull request, and I'm gonna make sure I open this up that talks about that, just so that we can record that it was your comment. I'll post the link to that pull request right there. Hey, Brave Cobra, good to see you. But I think that's the right idea. You could use WebSocket, maybe server sent events to send a command. Well, WebSocket and server sent events are both protocols that are supported by SignalR. So if we use SignalR to abstractly do that communication, it'll use whatever protocol it can find to communicate. Just got back from the tennis club. Wow.
Wow.
La-dee-da. Welcome back. So there you go. Today I learned about regarding SignalR. Well, let's talk about SignalR. We're going to do some work with that today. But otherwise, see a lot of you over on Suze's. Oh yeah, we will absolutely raid Suze's. Horns and sirens coming from outside. Yes. Take a look to see a big dude in a red suit sitting on top of a fire engine. Yeah, there'll be a guy out there doing that all day, I have a feeling. And yeah. It'll be cool to see that. So, there's a little bit of feedback on that. Now, Venkat had a question about issue 77 over in the in the live stream repository there. So, issue 77 is this one. Let's create an attribute for cheers for bits for bytes. We would need some sort of a common library to pull these together so that folks are able to work on this project in one place. If you work on this in your own project somewhere, and I think it's a class library that we're going to end up putting this in. If you want to work on that somewhere and you want to link to, hey, I worked on it, as some feedback here, I'll start building out that project, and we can send a pull request and start with your project to facilitate this. The idea of this issue is, instead of having a comment sitting in our code, if we have an attribute, a C# attribute inside the code, we can do things, run things against some reflection, a little bit of code inspection against the DLLs, and generate some sort of a cool report that shows, here are the folks that cheered. The WAV file, MP4, OGG, or whatever file could be hosted on the server, pulled into the browser when requested, says Hugo, referring to the attention command that Bardaki's working on. Yes, I think so. I think you're right, Hugo. That's absolutely a good place to put that. Scan all loaded assemblies, reflection to enumerate all classes with the attributes and output. Yeah, Brave Cobra, I think that would be a report we could do on the continuous integration server and generate a little report there that lives inside of, in my case, Azure Pipelines, but maybe it's Jenkins or TeamCity. Generate a little report of that information. Absolutely. Okay. I'm going to close these music to flow by. We talked about the Day of Service project. We talked about a couple of our pull requests, the attribute over here. Dependabot is getting a little crazy here with some of the pull requests it opens. Like, as soon as I close some out, it's right back, opening up all of these plans. Not a problem, Venkat. Always happy to answer questions from folks in the chat room. Hey, is it Neo Geta? Welcome. Thanks for joining us in the chat room. I hope I pronounced your name right. I need a bot for Dependabot. Well, there is a way to tell Dependabot to merge these pull requests. But the problem I have is a little bit of a confidence thing, because, of course,
60% of the time, it works every time.
And that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense at all. I've got to set some levels here on some of these new things. Let me see here. Let me do that. Update this. Maybe that's a little louder. This is a good one. Yeah, I need that. And, yep, I set that one. Good. Inigo Montoya, and yeah. I didn't expect to get all these dependencies created, so frequently here in the project. I find it
Inconceivable!
Yeah. And I just don't want to spend, a minor version bump like this, I don't want to spend time doing that merge and review. Like, just do it. Dependabot needs a cooldown period. Yeah. I don't have to accept all of them. I'd really like them to come through as one pull request, The other problem that I have is with Dependabot right now is when I look at it doing these pull requests, it creates a branch for every single one of these. So that gets a little overwhelming, and now it's made my repository messy, and that doesn't make me happy. Hey, Veronica, good to see you. It is a security thing, yeah. Smokeless.
What up, Fritz?
Thanks so much for that subscription. We'll make a donation to Girl Develop It, and that's 3 months in a row. That's going to get you into, I believe, a blue mug. Very cool. A branch is convenient for testing, absolutely, but let's do them all in one branch, Red mug, that's right. Red mug first, then blue mug. If I had on a Reddit running test, yes, and that's what I'm trying to do, but it's not working. And honestly, what I feel like I should do here for the auto running test is I feel like I should pull the tests out so they all run, right? Make my build process here, right? I'm doing this right on the metal when you look at my build process. I feel like I should do this inside of a Docker container to completely isolate it from all those other things. And to me, that's yak shaving. I should be able to just say .NET restore, .NET build, and it won't work. And I have this very nasty feeling in my gut that I'm going to tell it to do that inside of a container, and it's not going to work anyway. Minor versions should be acceptable as they shouldn't break existing code. Amen. Amen. Yes, I completely agree with that. And when I click through to Dependabot, right? Commits. Right, those are the commits on Message Pack. If I click through, it takes me to that project. I want to go to Dependabot. How do I get to my Dependabot for this application?
2 months, baby, and one that Twitch take from me.
Thanks so much, Crows, for that subscription. Yeah. We'll make a donation based on that. 2 months, baby, and one that Twitch take from me. I don't know what that means. Integrations and services, Dependabot. Yeah. Get over there. There's Dependabot. Yes, and there's no click through to my configuration from over here. Right? I'd like to. I mean, I can click Dependabot, log in, and it's got me on the wrong account. So there's Stream Tools, Directory, Target Branch, Automatic PR Merging, Patch Updates for security only, Patch Updates all. Sure, merge them all. Development Dependency PRs, patches. Go ahead and merge them. Because that's just annoying. You know, make that go away. This one. So, I get what we're trying to do here, but I find it's distracting. It's getting away. Oh yes, the shouldn'ts, except for when they prefer to doing. Sadly, I've come across that don't have those or vague enough to make me eye it suspiciously. Yes. Subscription counts aren't being updated in stream. Count has not changed since stream start. I don't have the subscription count here. I have that's a follower count there, not a subscription count. So, yeah.
Make it so.
I have that. I have that, Stelzy.
Make it so. Make it so. Make it so.
Okay, Picard. I get it. All right. But I'm not going to do all these merges right now. You don't want to see me just click through and make these things happen. Because that's not interesting. Most people don't advertise. Yes, my subscription count, I do not advertise. There are some folks that do advertise it. It's not something that I want to broadcast. But my follower count, you can see the follower count, you can see the viewer count on the UI, so I don't have a problem sharing it here. And also so that our folks watching on the YouTube can see that as well. Join us if you're watching on YouTube. Watch live. It's a lot more interesting, and you can ask questions of me too. Can't you auto-select and merge in one go? Can I? Can I do that? If I do these and that and this, one of those, sure, yes. This one, we'll do auto mock and auto fixture. Let's get this up to 16, sure, and do this one. I don't think I can merge all in one shot. I don't see a button to merge. Do you see one? Mark as open or closed? No. I can assign, I can change the milestone, but I don't think I can merge all in one shot. That'd be nice, but no. I would have to click through each one and merge, and that's a pain in the neck. And then I want to go and delete all my other things. Anonymous. Okay, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. I didn't know there was somebody named Anonymous on Twitch. Welcome. I look forward to hearing from you in the chat room, even though we don't know who you are. So that's what's going on, and I'll merge these off stream. These little patch things shouldn't impact us. Maybe we need a repo maintainer. I'm not opposed to that. But I want to make sure we vet any maintainer, because I don't want folks... We saw what happened with some folks on NPM repositories, and they were not... It's that hacker, and they were not very friendly with it. 4chan you keep hearing about on your local news. All right, and besides, if I don't want to give this to just anybody to maintain, I want to make sure we give it to somebody that I can rely on, because...
It's illegal in 9 countries.
Yeah, it's illegal in 9 countries. I don't know which 9, but it's illegal in 9 countries. And of course...
People know me.
They do. I'm easy for folks to attack. All right. So I really like this idea. Let's see what we can do there. You know what? I'm going to put a comment in here about this. We're having problems with .NET Core Restore, throwing errors on the Razor DLL again. I have no insight on this, and there appears to be a known issue. Oh, rats. Undo close tab. Not that one. Keep going back. We'll find it. Not that one. Because I did have that one up. There it is. And let me copy out that error. No, not releases builds. This one. It is... I'm going to copy that. And I want to mark this as code. There we go, like that. Yep, there we go. All right. So now when I have... oh, and you know what? Let's put a link into this build. Let's make that a link to this. There we go. So now I'll reach out to some folks, give them some feedback, and I can point them at this and say, well, we're trying to set it up. Here it is. Why doesn't it work? Yeah, people always want to attack. Oh, yeah. This is what real DevOps... Oh, my gosh. DevOps really takes a lot of work. It really, really does. This is 171, and Edward Thompson... There he is. I'm going to put a comment on here. I've hit some issues with this that's not how you spell configuration. And logged them in 171. All right. And we'll come back to that later. What I do want to do, though, is show you the progress that I made on the Visual Studio extension we've been working on. And here it is. So we had these really weird issues around timing and starting up and getting things attached to Visual Studio. Hey, DNet78. So to recap what's going on here, what the process looks like. There's a command that we're building, exclamation code, that you will be able to, you can't run it yet, in the chat room, and you can submit code suggestions and they'll come directly into my Visual Studio is the goal. So inside of my chat bot that we've been writing, I have a command called code suggestion. Hey, is it the Zivin? 3 months in a row. Thank you so much for that subscription with your Twitch Prime. I really appreciate it. And we'll make that donation to Girl Develop It. Thanks so much. Where'd it go? It's not that one. It's not code suggestion. It's not code suggestions manager. It is... Live code command. There it is. So use the code command, and you'll be able to send suggestions to me. And it's going to come in this format. All right. Now, this puts a message into a code suggestions manager that sends it over, raises an event, and sends it into a SignalR hub. Now, a SignalR hub does that live connection from a server to a bunch of clients. Now, those clients, they can be things like web browsers or other, Java applications, .NET applications, JavaScript applications. It knows how to communicate with all of those. So, most don't remember the syntax. Great point. We'll need to put that into the description for the live code command. And let's do that in the format code file name, line number, and then code. So that should come through in the description when you fire a help command. So when this is running, now I've updated my code suggestion interaction here. And we've simplified things, so I have a code suggestion object that's your username, the file name. We're going to modify a line number in the body. And we have the package. Now the package, this is where it's actually connecting to Visual Studio and doing the interaction. So when this wakes up, and it wakes up because I have this auto load feature here. And we talked to our friend Mads Christensen. Mads makes tons of extensions, very good extensions. He's a tremendous developer, and he works on the Visual Studio ecosystem team. I believe that's what they're called, to build and help folks build extensions for Visual Studio. Now, these run for anybody on any version of Visual Studio 2017, whether it's Community, Professional, or Enterprise. So what this package will do when you're installed, it'll attach, and this initialize async method will fire. What I have it doing is switches to the main UI thread, and then it attaches what I've called the code suggestion proxy. And this is where I was working before. This, and I've got my URL right now hard-coded to my test location. We'll set up some configuration for that. But it'll build a connection to it, and it sets up to listen to the on new code event. So when SignalR says on new code, and it's going to send information in this format, I'll receive that, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to raise an event. I turned this around a little bit, so I raise an event called on new code, and I pass through information about that code suggestion. I separated out the start process, so it was a separate method to actually do the connection. So I'm not really happy with that proxy name yet. We need something better. Okay. Maybe it's a connection manager. Not sure. But so this is connecting out, and if there's a problem connecting, we're going to write some errors out. Now, what I've also done is I put together a method called write to pane to write to the output pane, and I could write any information into an output pane that I've created called code suggestions. And I wrapped up all the interactions with Visual Studio into this code suggestion package class, so that I don't, from my proxy, I don't have to think about anything with Visual Studio. I don't have to be concerned about that. Let the package object manage the interactions with Visual Studio. And let's have this proxy manage the interactions with the client. Connection pipe. I don't know. Think about it. Get back to me. So if I let me start the project, start the web server, right? So let me go down into, fritz.stream tools. And if I .NET run this, and I'm going to cancel my other running bot, so I only have one running bot, or code suggestion pipe, either one works. There it is. So now it's running. We can see it running. I'm going to put this on this side, and I'll put Visual Studio over here. Now I'm going to start Visual Studio, and this is where things are going to get a little weird. Where'd my start button go? There we go. I'm going to start in this version of Visual Studio. Right, so this is weird. I'm going to start in what they call the experimental instance of Visual Studio, and it's going to attach a debugger to Visual Studio. I know what you're thinking. A debugger on Visual Studio? Really? No, it's very cool. There it is. Build succeeded. You can see it over my shoulder there. And here comes that instance of Visual Studio that we're going to attach to. Hey, Bokyo. Hello, hello. So let's take a look at what happens when this starts, and then we'll see that code command enabled in it. Debugging Visual Studio with Visual Studio is fun. It's very meta. So let me open up a project here, and there's all kinds of feedback that we need to build into this command yet. We're not there. I'm just trying to get the communication pipeline working back and forth. And then, come on, get up and running. Here we go. Get in there. At least it's not debugging the current instance of Visual Studio with Visual Studio. That would be really weird. That would be. Yeah. There we go. How am I going to fight spammers? Well, there's a bit of error checking built into it already. So I think we also have the ability to do timeouts, and that'll work well. So there we go. Brave Cobra is passing that in. Check that out. Check that out. Right, so it's receiving. I've got a code suggestions output window right now. Go ahead, fire another command in there. Fire, that's not a bad one, Brave Cobra. There it goes. New code suggestion from Brave Cobra. There it is. So I've got the connection working now, right? Brave Cobra keyed that into the chat room. It went, the chat bot saw it, picked it up, threw it to the web server. The web server running SignalR routed it to the client that was listening for it. So cool. Now, that's a great start, because now, right, suggestion, Brave Cobra on line 42, and there it is. So am I a wizard? No, but...
I love it when a plan comes together.
And it did. And it did. So we have SignalR code suggestions. It's coming in. It's here.
Cool feature.
Pac-Man Jr., thanks so much. It is a cool feature. We'll make a donation to Girl Develop It. 9 months in a row. They call that the Twitch baby. So you've got the blue mug, 3 months, and then you get the gold mug. Ooh. So, still one of us, yes. So I think this is really cool, but it's like that first step, right? It's MVP, right? And you'll hear business analysts and you'll hear venture capitalists refer to MVP, referring to minimum viable product. And this is minimum viable. I can see these messages coming in here and go, oh, Brave Cobra says to do this. I can grab this and go find awesome code and paste it in. I don't have to now go find what you've written in chat and format it properly and bring it over. It works. There's some hard-coded things. There's some navigation that I'd like to have. There's some validation that we need. Awesome code doesn't exist in this project. We need that somewhere. I'd like to queue up your IDs as as part of the pull request as a comment, as part of the commit as a comment, so that you get credit on GitHub for that contribution. Tofu Lock. Okay. Welcome. Thank you so much for the follow. I look forward to hearing from you in the chat room. I got to ask you, is a tofu lock like a warlock, but a vegetarian? Let me know. I think that's a cool nickname. I want to learn a little more how you got there. Make it work, then make it good. Yes. We need to clip that and tweet it. So awesome. Sure. No, it's a lock made of tofu. Like a padlock? Fantastic welcome. I'm so glad you're here to join us. It would be cool to put it in the file, the specific line, and notify you with link to the file or something. A vegan lock. A padlock. Okay. All right. Hey, cool. Welcome. Thanks so much. We're happy to have you joining us here today. Bokyo, what do you mean? Put it in the file on the specific line and notify me. Yes! Bokyo, you're right there. Master Dome TV. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you joining us. You're helping us with our rainbow beard goal. So here's the deal. I think Moz is still here. I promised Moz. There she is. Moz 2005. I promised her when we get to 5,000 followers, and you can see my total follower count here, and then the gauge over there that's helping us towards that goal, keeping track of that. When we get to 5,000 followers, I'm gonna dye this soup catcher, this beard, rainbow colored, and it'll be a ton of fun. We'll have a thing that day, and absolutely. Is it a one-time use? I don't know what you mean, Bardaki. The suggestion. Yes, I think so. I thought tofu lock is a lock file for packages JSON. No. It's very secure. Absolutely. You keep your tofu in there. Can you put that code suggestion as a comment? Well, Nile Crack and some other folks there. There you go, Janescu. Fantastic, right? Billy Blade says, make sure to hit 5K right before build or connect. How about the MVP summit? So for those of you that don't know, Microsoft has a most valuable professionals program. I'm the coordinator of the event, the summit that we're hosting in March. I also review and accept folks into the program for the Developer Technologies Award category. If we hit that 5,000 before MVP Summit, maybe we'll do something with the MVPs. So you can give code suggestions in a read-only live share session. That's a really cool idea, Brave Cobra. Yes. Well, and in fact, we are kind of doing a read-only session here. Kind of. So there's... And I have no problem regarding the rainbow beard. I have no problem if we want to set up some sort of a goal, something, maybe a donation drive, maybe something to encourage folks to join us here on stream, and when we hit that goal, do something fun at Build, at Ignite, at .NET Conf, MVP Summit, some of these other events that I coordinate and work with. Dev Intersection is another one that I connect with a lot. Hey, Gareth, good to see you. Other MVPs to take part in Rainbow Beard. What if if I was able to get the boss to participate? Maybe. A diff would work better there if you can edit the code locally in the read-only session and then send your diff as a code suggestion. Now, that's something that would be interesting to work on with the folks on the live share team. Yeah, exactly, Stelzy. No, not Satya. No. Are you kidding? If I were to ask Satya to participate in it, you know what they'd say?
You're about to get a serious beatdown.
And it wouldn't be good. Not at all. Have you now changed all the code graffiti to attributes? Not yet. I haven't allocated that project yet. And there was some interest. Venkat was actually, I think, is Venkat still here? Venkat was interested in working on that. Yeah, there he is. Thank you for the comment on the Twitch hat. I think if Venkat's interested in working on that, and
You can do it!
you can go ahead and start on it. Send a link over to your repository, and we'll allocate some place to work on that. But I think it's a library that we're going to reference and use in whatever projects. If a cheerer is already cheered on that month, update the total count. Yes. Yes. It can be a completely separate nupkeg or repo. Yes, absolutely, Brave Cobra. I think it's a common library that we're going to pull into our projects. Emulator Dev, thank you for the follow. Thank you for joining us. Lannon's back. Oh, good. What's the best way to render while streaming in a loop? Would it render what? Give me a little bit more context there, chatbot ML. I'm not quite sure. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I think I've got too many. I think I've got too many windows open. That was the work we did on that. Let's do this. Let me. And I am still going to come back. We are going to do an IoT stream here in the next week. I had to cancel on Friday. I had some stuff we had to get done around the house here. Let's do this. I'm going to create a new repository. And let's call this just common. Collection of common tools and features that we will reuse across projects. Sure, give me a README, give me a gitignore for Visual Studio. Make this MIT. I'm not going to put a pipeline on this. The correct amount of windows to have open is more. Wait. Hang on. Let me do that. I can do that better. Let me make sure I get this right. Is it... I think it's... more. Linux Root is now following us. Welcome, Linux Root. Just don't click check for updates. Yeah, right? So here's what I'm going to do so that we have this allocated. I'm just going to allocate a quick project here. I'll open a new PowerShell. cd dev. Git clone that. And I think this should be a .NET Standard project. So just so that we have something hanging out here, I'm going to run .NET new. Oh, are you kidding? There we go. And I want a .NET Standard library. I want a class library, but I want it on .NET Standard. So let's do .NET new class lib. There we go. And I want to say -f net standard 2.0. So it can be referenced by everything. All right. So, oh shoot, it's all in the same folder here. Hang on, do that again. Class 1. All right. Do that. Fritz.common. So -o will output into that appropriate folder. Let me move this a little. There you go. Let me create the solution file. So I'll .NET new SLN. So we get a solution file here. And then I should be able to, what is it? .NET. Hey, K Creative. Everything except Silverlight. Yeah, fighting that battle at work. No! Ugh. Fritzbot writing code suggestions if Cheer of Bits happens. That's a great idea, Janescu. We've talked about that a little bit. And then the path to the CS project. Yes. So isn't it like .NET SLN? Isn't that the... Yeah. add fritz.common csproj. There we go. Good. So now I can add all the changes, git commit, created initial Fritz common project. There we go. Cool. So now if you'd like to work on things like, oh, tartar sauce, I got to log in up here to GitHub because I installed an updated version. Oh, rats. You know what I need to do? I need to grab my application ID, don't I? Or did I? Yeah, I need to grab. Pardon me for a minute. Let's see. How should I do this? I'm going to come over here. Not that one. There. Let me do that one more time. C# Fritz, and then my password is going to come off of an application ID. I'm going to leave this up here, but bring my GitHub. And because I have things secured here, I need to re-sign in. So I'm going to do all my security stuff just off screen so I can get that ID, that password. No, it's not a password. It's an application ID because of how I do this. Shoot, where'd it go? XAML and Silverlight. Oh, man. Ugh. Where the heck is it? Come on. Am I forgetting my... There we go. Now my two-factor. Got to do two-factor authentication. This is kind of important for GitHub. It's kind of important whatever you're using. There we go. Now it's pushed. Fantastic. All right. So there we go. Now we have a common project that we can put some of these things in and work on together, like those attributes. So I know, Venkat, you were talking about that. Here's a project you can grab. You can format. What should common get? Yeah. So there's, you know what? Let's just migrate that issue from over here. So create an attribute to cheer for bits for bytes. I'm going to migrate this. There's a migrate button here somewhere. Transfer this issue. I'm going to put this into Fritz Common. So now it's over there. So this is something that'll be reused across the project, across projects. So 2FA on everything. In fact, if you can avoid SMS on the 2FA, even better. It has a known exploit. Yeah, it does. But how many people are really hooking SMS? I mean, you got some really bad folks that are hooking SMS that are trying to get in there. Heroxis, thank you so much for the follow. I'm going to stop that one. And now we should see some refreshes over here and some things update in the screen. Come on. I wish I could just, like, kick all of my widgets at once. Right? This... because they're supposed to refresh on their own when they get disconnected. There we go. Depending on what you're protecting, a GitHub login could be especially enticing for SMS hooking. Yes. And right with the two-factor authentication applications, I think they work very nicely. All right. So we have our code suggestions flowing through, and they're appearing inside of Visual Studio at this point. Great. Let's go back to that. Issue transfer in progress. Well, I thought it was done, actually, to be perfectly honest. SMS just for fallback. No, I wouldn't even do that either. So let me go back over to our code here. Besides having this come through and painted in it as a code suggestion in the pane, there it is, output string. There is also, my output pane is a output window pane object. There is a way to output task item string, and the help text here is very, very helpful. I don't know.
Oh my.
It looks like it does something. Text, priority, category, task icon, file name, line, description, force equals true. So what I'm thinking, let's use that to write the code suggestion as well. Right? So new code suggestion, we have that information over here. So isn't that a VSTS task? I don't know. It doesn't say. Part of me thinks it gets written into the error list. Code, description, project, file, right? So here's what I'm thinking. Let's take this format. Thank you. We should stop that, right? And let's change this so that we're writing to the pane the code suggestion. Right? Let's say code suggestion. And we'll just call this suggestion. And we do that. We just change these to suggestion. Let me scroll that up so you can see. This and that. Oh gosh, and I forgot to offer. Is anybody interested in connecting to? If I open up a live share, would anybody be interested in connecting in read only? Going to have to shoot. All right, take care, Rambling Geek. So now I'm passing that in. And if I say my output, well, now write to pane actually is going to break in some other places, isn't it? Right? Like here. So let's create a second one of these that just takes in text. And just output that text. I think that works. So now those other places that are passing a string, they still work. Okay. But if we passed in a suggestion, I also want to put that, right? If I try this output task item string, it grounded to a halt. Oh no! And there was only one person connected. Let's give it a shot. It works. Complete the in-browser sign up. Yeah, turkey. I don't understand. I'm already signed in. Yeah, I know I'm already signed in. No, different account. And
then?
There we go.
And then?
We're ready to collaborate. All right. Here comes. Latency difference to the stream is a little off-putting for me with live share. Okay. Oh yeah, I kept.
And then?
It's still here. So if you want to connect in, you want to take a look around the code as I'm working, there's the link. So output task item string, let's see. So what text do we want to put? I don't know what the text is. Let's just say some text. The priority is low. Subcategory. I don't know. Something like that. Task icon. I don't know what these things are. Sure. No end then. That's a better end then. File name. Well, the file name I do have. That's the suggestion file name. Line. I do have the line number. Suggestion line number. Description. So the description, I think, is new code suggestion from so-and-so. Whoever sent that in. Force equals true. I don't know what that means. Oh yeah, we're keeping all the and thens. All right. Let's see what happens. So I'll start this, and we'll figure out where that output task item goes. Because it's not clear where it ends up, right? Even if I F1 on this. It says to the task list. Oh, there we go. Finally, it's just accepting people on. Good. I hated having to click through that. All right. So it's out there. It's not going to connect to anything yet because I don't have it running. I need to restart it. Restart my local web server. Isn't the task item where the to-dos, etc.? Yes, that's exactly where I want it, Stelzy, because then I can click through on those things as well. All right, so let me open the project. I don't think I said thank you to Heroxis for following, or is it Herosis? Thank you for joining us. Here comes the project. Come on. You know you want to load. All right. So if we do a code suggestion, if the text is properly formatted, yes, Hugo. Yes, yes, yes. That's exactly what I want it to do. It is a very particular format. All right, so if we do something code, test.cs 12 public string foo. And now look, some text, okay. And if I go to the error, the error list, task list, entire solution. Okay, so I don't see anything in the task list, description, project file line. If I go to the error list, I don't see any there either. So where did it go? You know? Maybe as message. I don't know. Not test CS, because maybe it doesn't see that existing. If I say program CS, right? Okay, there's that. It's not appearing here. And it's... It is appearing here. It's a message. It works. I think that would make the target pane appear. Okay. All right, let's try that. Let me close this. Stop. Force. Well, force is already set to true, right? Okay, so some text, we don't know what that is. There wasn't any place for me to define the project. You know? I don't know. I mean, priority, yeah, this. What is this? Oh, 1 second there, Janescu. But where is the code? Good point. Where is the code? File name equals full path. Ooh, maybe. In which case that could get a little annoying trying to find that. May need a file to path resolver. Yeah. Not terrible. Doable. Or relative to from the solution. Yes. Yes. Check if the solution has file. That's a little bit of validation that we should run. Yeah. I also think that when it loads, we should poll for what are the existing suggestions that are out there. We also need a way then to clear those suggestions. So go ahead, fire in that code command again, Janescu. I am not Suak. Hey-oh. Hello. Good to see you. I'm doing fantastic. How are you? Let's see here. New code suggestion from Brave Cobra in Awesome Code 2. So that's not clicking through to anything. But what if I do one that points to program CS? So that doesn't click through to it either. Yep, look at the code suggestions coming through. That's phenomenal by itself, right? I mean, look at this. We've got Twitch populating the error list. And I think you're seeing where we want to go with this. Hey, President, not sure. I want to be able to double click on this and get to that location in the file, right? I mean, we're pointing to, right? The line isn't populating either at this point. Right, let's shrink that down for a second so we can kind of look at these side by side. Right? I'm output task item string, right? And line, I'm passing the line number in. Yeah. Right, integer line. So I am passing the line number in, but it's not recording that. And also that description isn't. Well, the description is there. Okay, so we do have the description. Project isn't populating. Does it clear when I recompile? Let's see. So I built. Nope, they're all still there. They're all still there. It's clicking through because the file doesn't actually exist now. So, right, and if I look at, and I love how it pops it down here on this, but the line number isn't appearing. What's this? Suppression state. I don't know what that is. Let me force it to the subcategory to console app 1 and see if that, right, see if I can get that. Get that thing to populate. We're doing C#. Yes, we are mainly doing that. Do I ever code in Python? I'm not coding in Python right now. I do have a request from a sponsor to do some coding in Python coming up. And you'll see that in January. I'll be doing some Python coding. Maybe not on stream, but definitely you will see some Python from me published. Are you sure it's not going to the program file? You already have it open. Well, I want to see. You know what? That's a valid question for P3S. Might my Python coding be in Iron Python? No, it will not. Uh-oh. Hello. Stop. Now this one's doing it.
What'd you do?
I don't know. That's a problem. We're going to need to figure that one out. Neat trick. Let me relaunch that. Skynet confirmed. Yeah. Somehow it's re-looking at itself. Yeah, bot triggered. No, somehow it that ASP.NET that it responded with, it shouldn't be. First off, it shouldn't be searching for ASP.NET at all, but it triggered itself. Yeah, client closed. I know because I closed it. Let me restart. Yeah, that was annoying. I was running it twice. Yes. I'll figure that out. All right. Over here. So this actually isn't going to reconnect. Let me close the solution and reopen it. And we should see it in the output window connecting. Or not. Let's do this. While I'm here, let's go to the hyperlink command. Can execute. Yes. And I also don't want it to execute if it's the bot. But I don't know my bot's name inside of here. We'll have to... I'm going to put a to-do in here. Do not check for links posted by the bot. Actually, we should open that as an issue, shouldn't we? Don't check hyperlinks for posted by the bot. That's a bug. It's a good first issue if somebody wants to take a look at it. Okay. Let's try that again. For me to run the Docker version you were using, I need to set up a VM with Win10. No, you don't. The Docker version should run on Linux. It's a what's it called? It's a thing. It's a crumbs. All commands should be ignored when posted by the bot. True. Yeah. Very good point. It shouldn't process anything at that point. It is a version of Linux. It's Debian. That's what it is. It's Debian. There we go. So that's loaded. So now I should start getting code pasted through. Connected. There we go. Some text. No. If I close this. Yeah. So it's not giving me the project there. Interesting. The legacy Docker toolbox ain't having it. Huh. That's interesting. Yes. Okay. There are apps for Windows and Mac. Linux doesn't need this sort of thing, so I suspect it's on your... Yeah. All right. So I'm not... It's nice that it's popping in there, but it's not clear to me why I'm not getting all the values coming through. You get an error pop-up said, save failed due to insufficient permissions. Interesting. That's interesting also. Might be full path. No. Well, that... No, that's... Go for it, right? Look. There's the Hugo doll. Whiteland. Nope. It ignored that because that's not a line number. There is, Chris, there's a repository the LiveShare team manages for their issues. It's a LiveShare on GitHub. It is, here it is, Microsoft Docs LiveShare. You can open an issue here in this repository. And they monitor this and will respond to you. There we go. No, wrong error list. I want to put the output. So they're coming through. The ones that have that, yeah. Yeah, most of them are battle testing LiveShare, and a lot of the folks you see on the LiveShare issues are, oh, I got disconnected. Oh, I wasn't able to connect. Well, okay. That's something else going on entirely. You know? That's not a problem with LiveShare. Typically. Okay. So I have the data coming in, and well, first off, it's dropping the file name. It's completely munging here somewhere along the way. Well, that one picked up, but it's still not giving me the click-through. And it's not, and the project isn't there as well. So, output window pane. Output task item string, right? So, VS task categories, task category miscellaneous, task icon comment. For line numbers, must specify the full path to the file name parameter. For example, C workfile.txt. The file must exist at that location. The reason for this is that the output window checks to make sure the specified file exists before displaying line numbers. You're right! I just realized I could use the console chat bot to test. Yes! What if you add project name to the code suggestion? Well, I think... Okay, so let's do this. Let's kind of force the issue here just to make sure that we're seeing that properly load. Over here. Right, so I forced that in. So let's do it this way. C Mine is in dev Fritz dot. Where did I put console app 1? I think I put it. So it's cdev console app 1 console app 1. Right? And then I'm going to hard code program CS because that's the only file that's there that I. No, wait. Hang on. Sub category. And then for the file name, for right now, I'm going to force that so we can see what it looks like. Yeah. There we go. Hugo, that's... I'm going to need to build it from the file name. Right. I'm going to at some point need to spin through. Here's the list of files in the project. Find that appropriate file that you're referencing. Grab the entire path name and then output it. But I want to make sure that I'm appropriately working, that this actually works before I go and do all the work to locate those files and write it in here, because that's a lot of code to write. And I think we also need to enhance the hub so that we can query and get the current list of features. So there's the error list. There's my output. It's still building this out and loading. No, hang on. You're a little early there, Brave Cobra, I think. Yeah, it's still building out the panels here. Come on. You can do it. There I go saying it. Why am I saying it when I've got Rob Schneider here?
You can do it!
Come on.
You can do it!
There we go. Connected. All right, now try that. Those code commands there. Hugo and Brave Cobra. There we go. All right. So now if I go back over to task list. No, it wasn't task list. Not task list. Bad idea. Error list. There we go. Program. Now I've got line numbers. It's not going there. Is subcategory in here? Category. Nope, category's not appearing. But I'm double clicking and it's not jumping through. But it's no. Right, so line 1, line 16. Close the file. Okay, let's close the file. Yeah, I'm double clicking and it's not going into the file. Now I wonder if it's because project isn't populated here. Yeah, you're right, Janescu. It's not showing the project.
60% of the time, it works every time.
So we need to get the project in there, and maybe that'll finish that last 40%. Danilo Loco. Yeah, so how do we get the project loaded? Let me go back to this. The subcategory to use. No, that's not it. Priority. We've already got the priority. I think that's good. A VS task icon. File name. Can be an empty string. Nah. Line description. The description of the new task item. Force. And that's it. Examples? No. That's a terrible example. Okay. Output task item string. When in doubt, duck it. Huh? Lots and lots of things on docs. All right. And I want to be able to click through to it, and it's not clear. So I've got the pane, normal, file name, yeah. There we go. And our friend, it looks like our friend NoOpCat has started. We'll finish up this task and then we'll set up the raid. What is going on when I double click an error task item? There we go. Output, error line, column. I don't think we've seen column as part of this. I solved the problem by using the error list provider so I can implement my own selection code. Okay, how do I integrate with the error list? Yes. No! Ugh. All right. Integrate with error list. No, bad idea. No. Right, where was that sample that we had that integrated with it? Right, we had a sample link that went right into it. That's the extensibility. Bad idea. Those samples did not help us. Margin extensions, no. No. Not the tool windows. Here we go. Extending the output and options windows. Options page. We're going to need an options page. If somebody wants to work on an options page so we can put the configuration in here, we're going to need that eventually. Properties window. I don't want the properties window. I want the error. Add items to the task list. Task provider. And where is it? All right. So I think this is where we're going to go. What do we got? Deanie's Cruise. New issue raised here. Oh, thank you, Chris Jones. This is a gist that shows how to do it. Don't know if it works. What do we got? Yeah. So we were I think this is the code we were looking at before. Error list provider. Right? Is error list provider for a package? Okay. So let's stop this. Let's just write some code. Equals new error list. Yeah, error list provider. Cool. Service provider, and it. Can I do that with the package? I'm on a static property. Rats. So if I did that up here. Okay. Image list, provider code, provider name, subcategories. So now what's it do? New error task. New error navigate. There's how it navigates. Error list provider tasks add. Bingo! New error. New task equals new error task. And then, wow, look at all the stuff. Okay. Line equals e dot line number. Is there a file name here? How's he getting the file name? For document equals first file in project. Right. So let me force that to C dev just because this is where it is for right now. Console app 1. Console app 1 program.cs. Oops, need the @ sign there. Category. Miscellaneous, sure. Text. And let me do that. Okay. One more. I'm not going to do those last two. Let's see what happens with just this. And then if I say p dot tasks dot add new task. P dot show. Let's see if we get it. Let's see if we get it. And if we get it, we'll commit, and we shall wrap up for today then. Come on. You'll need to navigate part to have... Oh, you're right. This part. Okay. And come on.
Do it live!
Load it up. Come on. There's live share. Here comes code suggestions. Chatbot's connected. Good. All right. Send over some code. Like this one. There it is. So if I look at the error list now, come on. Now, what did I get? Uh-oh. I'm locked up. I don't think we're ready there. Oops. Ooh, I'm really locked up. Stop. Due to high risk something. Oh, man. All right. I am going to call it there. I think we're really close here. Started adding code to the error list provider. I think we're just about there. We're really, really close. I will commit that. Push. There it is. Now it's available for folks to take a look at it. It does feel like a thread issue there. We're really, really close to having that work so that it drops into the error list. I'll take a shot at getting that working. But I want to make sure that we continue the dev vibe here today on Twitch. Now, of course, I'm going to set up a raid over to our friend NoopCat. If you want to join her, she's working on some IoT stuff today. As she usually does. Let's let her know the raid is coming. I will still be around on Discord after the stream, of course. I'm gonna hack away at this a little bit, see what I can do. Let's announce the raid. Oh, she hasn't quite started yet. She's got on standby. Here we go. You don't have to do anything to join the raid. You can click accept, click join the raid if you'd like. The code's updated. It's out there. I'm going to reach out to a couple folks and nail down some appointments for some guests this week. We're going to do basic HTML development with our friend Steffi at the end of the week. I'm going to talk to Moz here and see if we can get her confirmed to pair program and work with us on a stream. Keep an eye out for more information about our upcoming ASP.NET workshop and our day of service in January. All right, thanks so much, everybody, for joining me, for watching. here we go. She's up and running. Say hi to No App Cat for me, and we'll see you over there. And then we're going to follow up with Node Botanist a little bit later, too. Take care, everybody. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time. Tuesday. Have fun.
Channels, just subscribe to Twitch Prime for 10 months in a row. That's amazing. And Lennon BR as well. Thank you for the resub. Steropian, thank you for the resub. Almost a year. You're all awesome. Yeah, I use a burr grinder and then... Okay, there's Lennon BR. I use a burr grinder